Hi everybody, welcome back. Good evening to you. I have another sample to go through for the sample section. Now, this is a fun one, both in terms of what the sample is and how I got my hands on it. So, if you have been following the channel, and of course you have, why wouldn't you be? You know that I'm in the middle of doing the series on 1984. So I did the video about language, right? Newspeak, double plus good, double plus ungood, all that. And I put it up on Twitter, because sure, why not? You gotta put yourself out there, right? You gotta market yourself somehow, and Twitter, sure, why not? I got, first of all, retweeted by the Orwell Society. If that's not super cool, I don't know what is. And they pointed me towards this. Year84 by Brennan Conaway. It is a Newspeak retelling of 1984. Oh, how could I not go for this? So the cover looks really cool. The cover is very utilitarian, right? It looks like a blueprint of some kind almost. We have a space for the writer's name. We have the space for their number. Mini True Definitive Edition from the Ministry of Truth Oceania Fiction Department, Airfield 1. So they've done a nice job of making it look like this is possibly what a product of the Ministry of Truth would look like. So that looks really cool. I'm very excited to read this. So let me do that, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, that was ridiculous, and I loved every second of it. Oh, that was absolutely preposterous. As a writing exercise, it is fantastic. Am I going to buy and read this book in whole? Almost certainly not. Because it's tough. It is tough to read. Newspeak is not designed to be pleasant. Newspeak is not designed to be fun to read. Newspeak is strictly utilitarian in its construction, right? It's to be used. And so an entire novel, much less 1984, translated into Newspeak is tough. It is not easy to follow. So I think as sort of a gimmick, this is really, really neat and a lot of fun. And I'll point to a couple lines that I really liked. I honestly don't think, and I'm really, really sorry, Mr. Conaway, I don't think I could read the whole thing front to back. But I may certainly look at certain points that I really like, some very important moments, and say, oh, how is this rendered in Newspeak? That could be a lot of fun. So yeah, it is really, really interesting. The first line, which we all know is the terribly famous first line, is rendered as such. All right, so we all remember the first line of the book, right? You know, it was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. So in this new one, it was a lightful, cold day in month 04, and the clocks were flashing 1300. 6079 Smith, his chin down in an attempt to avoid the plus on good wind, goed speedwise through the glass doors of Windful House, though underspeedwise to stop a spiral of dust from inning with him. I mean, come on. It keeps a lot of the sense of the original, right? We can understand it. We know what's happening. But they've added those Newspeak words like plus on good wind. Instead of he went quickly, he goed speedwise through the doors. So yeah, here comes Archie. Archie loves this story. Archie, help me out here. This is my producer, Archie, by the way. So the whole thing is like that. It reads very like that. The sample itself is fairly short. But it is, again, if you've read the book, you know what's happening. That's not a problem. It's not impossible to read. I don't know what it would be like for someone who's never read 1984 to read the Newspeak version of it. But like I said, it does feel awkward because I miss Orwell's prose. I miss Orwell's writing. Orwell's writing is lovely and stark and cold and beautiful, and I do miss it for this book. So it doesn't quite feel right, but it certainly feels like that certain sort of hollow, soulless writing that the party would put out if they were putting out this novel. I was talking to some of my coworkers, other English teachers, about this. They thought it was an amazing idea, but they noticed something interesting, that for example, the Newspeak, that first sentence, translates Victory Mansions as Windful House, right? Victory Gin becomes Windful something else, is also a windful drink. The big poster of Big Brother, instead of Big Brother is watching you, it's BB is watching you, right? And then much later, not too later, when we get to the slogans of the party, remember, war is peace, freedom is slavery, have been translated to themselves to forever at war, joyful in work, strong in party. Even the name Ingsoc, right? When Ingsoc shows up very early in the book. Ingsoc is simply translated as the party. And my colleague noticed this. He's like, that's a little weird because those are party words, right? Those are party slogans. Those are party terms. Why would they need to be translated into Newspeak? And for a moment, that kind of, yeah, I got that. It made sense. But then I remembered this is done in 1984, and the full transition to Newspeak isn't intended to take place until 2050. So it is certainly possible that in 1984 they're still using some old speak, right? Like a word like victory is a very charged, powerful Old English word. So of course it would be maybe translated to winful, right? You've won, you are full of winning. It is winful gin, winful victory, winful mansions. And some of it is straight up lies, right? Where in the original he talks about going into his mansion and he says the place smells like old rag carpets and cabbage. Here it says it smelled of uncold stew and new carpets, right? So again, it's lies because Newspeak is a function of the government to make everything sound a specific way. So it is really neat. It's a lot of fun. I might get the book just to check on certain passages, see what they sound like, see how this person has rendered them. It does strike me as, sort of a fun writing exercise. Can you rewrite the entire book in this horrifying language of Newspeak? I don't believe I would be able to read it cover to cover without getting frustrated. But hey, I applaud it. I appreciate what's being done here. I think it's really cool. If you are a fan of 1984 and you're a fan of sort of language in general, especially conlang, right, which Newspeak is, it's a constructed language, go pick this one up. See what you think as well. And if you have any thoughts on it, I would love to hear from you on what your thoughts are. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Stick around for the next video. Subscribing would be a good idea. And if you do that, Archie will continue to be this cute. I promise. All right, subscribe. Not for me, not for the books. Subscribe for Archie. Oh God, this is going to become a cat channel, isn't it? Oh no, what have I done? All right, thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you next time.